Hi, this is David MacKenzie, and welcome to our first edition of Classical Coffee. I'm here at Uncle John's Coffee House in Marion, and we'll be touring over the course of the next 5 days some of the cafes along the South Coast. Starting here in Marion, I think we're going to work our way all the way to Westport. The purpose of being here and the purpose of this series is to sort of give you an insight into upcoming concerts. The next one is Messiah on November the 27th at St. Anthony's Church at 3 p.m. And the performance of Messiah is something that we've established as a tradition. Why do we want a tradition of Messiah? Well, it is probably the most performed piece in musical history. Handel is a composer that's up there with Bach and Beethoven. In fact, Beethoven paid homage to him in a great quote. He said, "Handel is the greatest composer who ever lived. I would bare my head and kneel at his grave. I can still learn from him." This coming from Beethoven. So what we're going to be doing over the next 5 days is really talking about Handel, the Messiah, and why it's so great. The first day I thought I would just give you a little brief insight into Handel, the composer and the man. Handel was born in 1685, the same year as Johann Sebastian Bach. He was contemporary. He was, in many ways, a larger-than-life man. He was very famous throughout his life. He was intensely loyal to his friends. He was very generous. He donated the proceedings of a lot of concerts to charity. He also had a huge appetite for food and alcohol. In fact, that's probably what wound up killing him, was a lead poisoning from wine. That they preserved wine with lead in the cask at that time, and he drank a lot of wine and eventually died of lead poisoning. And he was a big man, just a big man, big personality, and he also had an incredible temper. There's a story when he was a young man in Germany, he and a friend of his, Johann Mattheson, were playing in an orchestra, and they got into an argument over who would sit at the higher chair, and they wound up fighting a duel with swords, and it was only a big brass button on his coat that saved Handel's life from being struck. After that, they were still best friends for all of their life. Strange story. Messiah was premiered in 1741. It was written in 24 days. Now, this is an oratorio. We're not doing the whole thing. The whole thing lasts 3 hours. We're doing the first portion, which is about 50 minutes. But this is a 3-hour piece, and he composed it in 24 days. Pretty amazing. The work itself has stood the test of time because Handel was a genius at musical effect and of painting the picture of the text in such a way that the story is just vivid for us. It's all laid out there. And of course, he's treating a very, very sacred subject of the Messiah. So it's a work that has grabbed the imagination. There's one estimate that Messiah, since its premiere in 1741, has been played almost 1 million times. So this is a piece that means a lot to us in our culture, and it's a wonderful, wonderful piece. We're going to give you just a little snippet. What you'll see, you'll come up at the end of each of these segments with a link to a YouTube performance. This will be a performance by the London Symphony Orchestra of the most recognizable movement from Messiah, and that is the Hallelujah Chorus. So tune in tomorrow. We'll be someplace else and talk about certain aspects of the music that hopefully will bring it to life for you. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.